Hey guys, this is Alex.
Hey, I'm Keelia Fagan.
Hey, I'm Brittany Henderson.
Shayla McCorvey.
And we're Group 3, and we want to talk about technology in the classroom.
I'm going to start off by addressing basically the apostasy theorem. And basically, it's a theory in which students, they should have more freedom to use the smart boards. They should have more freedom to create their own PowerPoints inside of the classrooms. So you know how when we were all in high school and in middle school and in elementary schools, the teacher had the authority just to basically use the technology.
They took it over.
Yeah. The students, all we had to do was just sit down and look, and basically that made the lesson more boring because the students, they weren't engaged in the new
They weren't
technology.
interacting.
Yeah.
Right.
They weren't engaged into the new technology, using PowerPoints and the smart boards and things like that. So basically, this encouraged students to have a more hands-on approach using new technology that's being presented inside the classroom. And it's basically teachers don't touch the students; they're more hands-on. How do y'all feel about that?
It's really cool because in Maine they're starting to enforce where they put in more technology in the classroom so that each student will have a chance to have the responsibility to be able to move forward, to be able to publish their works on the web, by using blog posts as well as publishing papers, things like that. So not only are they pulling from the web information, but they're also able to put out their own knowledge so that they're getting this reciprocation of knowledge. And, in Australia, they're really pushing it. So hopefully here in the United States, we're going to get, some states, some districts, everybody's going to be pushing forward to where laptops that students can use certain functions on their cell phones so that they'll be able to fully engage and interact in the classrooms so that everybody gets a chance to touch the technology, to learn from it, to push forward, to engage more.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I would say as far as teachers' roles to regards to technology, I think they should be more computer friendly. Like back then, we didn't have technology in the school to where we had to use books. Now that we do have technology, as in a teacher's role, they can look over the students more to see if they're actually using it and using it at a high quality, rigorous course. Or teachers should request to have, I'll say, like different study sessions regarding technology.
Like using iPads and stuff.
Yeah, using iPads and also doing blog posts as well, and also using the technology as far as smart boards. They just actually started, getting friendly with the smart boards once I got in high school because I don't even remember smart boards in middle school or, elementary.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, overhead projectors and pulling down the little screens and all that.
Always
So
snap back at you.
technology has become worldwide everywhere. In the
Absolutely.
school.
And it's really cool because then this way they can kind of take some ownership of what they want to put out on the web and they'll be able to interact with more people around the world. Like we use our blog posts in class today. We use them to talk to students around the world. We talk to teachers around the world. And this just makes it a global learning community. So this just makes it so much more fun. So
Yeah,
that
it's interesting.
exactly, so everyone can interact, and it makes them want to learn more, which helps our job become easier.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
How do y'all feel about cell phones in the classroom?
Dum dum dum.
I think it would be good. Cell phones would be good as far as well, when I had to observe a class, I noticed what the teacher let the students bring their cell phone out to when they was doing a project in the hallway to where they had to use measurements or they had to time each other. That would be good as far as doing a group work, but anything that's considered distraction, I wouldn't think it would be good for the classroom, as long as it's dealing with, project work or anything like that.
Yeah, you definitely have to draw a direct and straight line with this because it can become dangerous and become an issue in the classroom.
That's what Prinsky says. He says that you have to have a policy to monitor the cell phone use so students aren't cheating,
Yeah.
things like that.
That can be like a double-edged sword.
Exactly.
You can use cell phones as an educational tool. But then you do have some students that'll push the limit and get on Facebook during
Or Yik
class
Yak.
time, and they're texting or doing things that don't pertain to what's being taught. So
There was a huge safety issue at a school in Florida that my mom teaches at, actually, that this is the reason why most schools have deactivated Yik Yak. And it would be that the students were loosely allowed to play with their phones at school, in between classes and things like that. But they expected them to use it for more educational purposes, but it became an issue, it became a safety issue whenever it started challenging each student against each other. So, like you said, with the policies, it has to be a direct line.
I read in the book that one teacher actually had open phone tests.
yeah, I glanced. What exactly? Because it really didn't elaborate. But I see.
It's a private school in Australia.
I think they should allow cell phones in the classroom.
For open phone tests? No, I don't think not. I don't think it should be anything dependent wise, because too many people are coming dependent on their cell phones to where when we didn't have all that stuff back then, now we become lazy. You got younger kids now that's able to use iPads more than I can use an iPad, and then by the time when we get old, by the time they get older, they don't want to do nothing. The stuff that we used to do, to where we had to think outside the box, they so dependent on cell phones now. I think I don't know.
Well, that's why it's our job to advance our knowledge on it and to really move forward and adapt to the growing technology age, because there's so much that comes up every year, and even in a short month's time, technology grows. The internet grows. It's a vastly growing system. So in order to be a better teacher, we have to be able to adapt to our students, which they are able to move quicker with technology because they've had it their whole life, whereas we have not.
I think technology can be a good thing, and I also think that it can also make us become lazy as well, because so many people are so dependent on computers and going to the computer for sources. They forgot about the books. When we used to grow up on the books and look up information in the book, so everybody's so into computers and going straight to Google. So it could be a good thing and also a bad thing as well.
Yeah, that's where we as teachers have to know how to use it as a tool and as a skill so that we can pass it along, so that we can guide them in the directions they need to go.
Yeah, kind of like balance it out.
Precisely. We will be, the justice tables, the scales that hold it together.
All right, is that it?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for listening.